during our last session, we kind of dealt with the after effects of the knowledge you guys had gained on Avalon. Uh, Primarily, the big key points were that Tohaak had actually achieved soul surgery, specifically how to tether a soul to a robotic body. In this case, they had learned the first success was actually John. It was revealed that due to the void decay that John's past life was suffering from, Tohaak had gone to the technomancery school to learn how to avoid it and ultimately come to the conclusion that soul surgery was the way. He'd gone to the Wall of Knowledge on Avalon to learn how to do it and had successfully done it. The downside was, at least at the moment, is it didn't seem like the personality had transferred over. So Tohaak was very upset, had tried to attack the wall, and was sent away. Seeker had informed you that he had gone back to his home planet of Verces, where he's the Baron of the Aurora Atoll, which is in the survivable band on the tidally locked world.
Yes.
You guys had gone back to the ship, informed Primex, Kamara, Mela Cruz of what had transpired on Avalon, or at least most of the details. John had left out that he was the brother of Tohaak, and that he was actually a success of the soul surgery. Kind of just implying that you guys knew that it had succeeded, but not the details of where the creature was that had been the success. You guys had also been formally drafted as a task force by the Pact Worlds and had named yourselves the Revengers.
Yes, I remember that.
The being a formal task force came with the benefit of getting a $2,000 credit stipend monthly, and your first stipend was supposed to hit about the time you guys arrived to Verces. During your travel time to Verces, John had spent most of it in kind of a robotic, depressed state, kind of dealing with the concept that he, one, used to be a person, and that he was related to Tohaak. He found out a little bit of information on Verces, which is kind of what we already touched on. It's a tidally locked world. One side is a blazing desert. The other side is this ice-capped seas and oceans. And then there's a small band around the equator that is livable space. After doing that research, he kind of spent the rest of it plugged in, aside from his time spent with Shanty, who was wanting to try and become more proficient with grenades.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
They had set up the holodeck as kind of like a basketball court where Shanty practiced throwing grenades, learning moves such as the swirly durly.
Swirly durly.
While John implied that there was nothing more for him to teach, Shanty ultimately learned more trash talk than actual technique.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I rolled a nat 1 on the.
Raya, feeling connected to John, had tried to do some research for her own of like how to reverse it. And unfortunately, she was hitting a lot of roadblocks, kind of what you guys had ran into initially when you were researching what Tohaak was doing. Is it was all theory based, not anything concrete. She tried to dive into how to access the memories latent in John, and kind of came across that higher level magic could potentially help with memory, but at the time, at this part in time, it was going to be difficult. Sparks spent a little bit of time kind of piloting the ship and kind of going around, finding all the crevices and everything on the ship. Eventually, you guys had come into sort of an asteroid sort of area where 3 Eoxian Deathhead Necrogliders had come at you guys. And you guys kind of handled them pretty well. The ship took minimal amount of damage. While it was a long fight, it was kind of always in your control. as the last vessel exploded, you guys could see another larger Eoxian ship coming around the asteroid. And we'll say you guys are here.
Okay.
Which was a little concerning because this was noticeably larger than the vessels you'd already taken out, comparable to your ship size. At the same time, approaching in from the right side of our map here, there's a black Castasian vessel, which is kind of this sleek, sort of elegant, large, so it would be gargantuan as far as ship sizes go. So it looks kind of like a fleet ship.
Okay.
The key thing to note was that it has the Free Captain's emblem on it.
That's right. That's right. The association that T used to work for.
And the name on the vessel is Asteray.
I have a name for you, by the way. Do you want me to just send it to you?
That'll work, or you can bring it up as
Okay.
as we kind of get into dialogue. As we start, the captain of the Asteray sends out a message or requesting access. So you got like a ding on your computer indicating that a communication is being opened.
Do we have like in our ship? Do we have like on the deck where like there's like a cap like in Star Trek how there's like a captain's chair in the middle?
If you
of the
remember,
deck?
it's underneath this map, but
Oh, okay.
I have it set up where there's a captain's seat. The helm is right in front of the captain's seat. Off to the sides, you have the weapons table.
That's right.
There's a science officer table, and then engineering is in the back of the vessel. But everybody else is up there, and then you guys have open comms in the ship if you need to communicate with Raya back in engineering.
T, it seems like we are getting a message. They seem to want to communicate.
All right. It couldn't have come at a better time and a worse time. I'm not sure how this will go, but we'll hear them out.
When I try to play it, can I accidentally start playing a video of John crying to himself and then quickly like cancel it and play the actual message?
Yeah. So what you'll see is, like Star Trek, the view screen pulls up and you can see a Castasa. So they're kind of elongated head, 4 arms, and pirate gear. This would be.
Are they like grasshopper looking?
No. It's just kind of like the alien longer head.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So it's like it doesn't look like 3 heads, but it's like the length of like 3 heads stacked on top of each other.
Okay, gotcha.
4 arms. Shanty, as soon as the view screen pulls up, you would recognize this as Lavada Asteray Notley, who used to serve as the lieutenant on your previous vessel. Ah, Captain T! I see you've decided to hit the high celestial seas again.
Well, you know what they say. Anyways, how have things been?
Well, as you can tell, I have moved quite up in the Free Captains. I'm now the pirate leader.
Wow. I mean, I always told you you'd never amount to anything, and here you are.
Well, it was almost like there was this force holding me back the entire time.
Yeah, it's a good thing I had a greater calling, otherwise I don't know if you would have gone anywhere.
It does seem that you're missing the emblem on your starship here, which, as I can see from this Eoxian vessel coming around the asteroid, seems to bring on all kinds of unsavory sorts.
Hey, this is a brand new vessel, created with my own 2 hands. I just haven't put the lucky emblem on yet.
The fire engine red is a nice touch, I might add.
That was a little robot cough.
Well, shall we handle this Blackwind sploocher real quick? As you guys kind of see, the vessel is, once again, it's comparable about your side. It kind of has like an open maw that's just straight out into the atmosphere.
Okay.
And it almost looks like a large fish, like shark, like maw.
Okay.
It's open, clearly venting atmosphere.
Okay.
Yeah, well, why don't you just show me how far you've come? We'll just stand over here and help if you definitely need it.
Oh, yeah, shoot yourself, T. Shall we? All right, we are now going to enter into combat.
Who's who?
Okay, so the one coming around the asteroid is the Eoxian vessel.
Uh-huh.
That's your undead creatures.
Right.
And then that is your asteroid.
And this is us?
Yep.
Okay.
Do you want to put your starship on? I put those into these as like combat, like the other ships.
The only reason why I did this was because it fits better
It's
on
small.
a square
Yeah, no, it's only
or a hex.
We can I can roll with that, that's fine.
Or you just use a die.
Yeah, I have the
boxes.
box there. There's a pink one or a purple one that we could throw down for our vessel.
Artemis, do you need an aid?
Perfect. All right. So as we look at our cheat sheet here, we're going to enter into the engineering phase. Is there any thing in particular you would like Raya to do?
We are slightly out of range as far as movement goes. So we could have Raya put forth some power to...
That reminds me, before we get too far into here, with the things that I did wrong for Starship combat last time, one of the ones I haven't mentioned, it applies to all combat unless the weapon specifically says it doesn't go past the range increment. When it says 5 hexes, that's your first range increment.
Oh.
You get another 5 past that with a -2, another 5 past that with a -4, and so on.
Oh, okay.
So you guys can shoot further than that. The exception, I think, is your guys' flak thrower. That one is a single increment. There are some other benefits with the flak thrower that we can get into if you're using it. The first being is if they use like a torpedo tracking device, if it's going to hit, you get a free gunnery action to try and shoot it specifically and take it out before it hits the ship.
Gotcha.
Okay. So
Yes, you can have that.
I think that we'll have Raya divert power to the engines
Okay.
to increase her speed by 2.
Yeah.
I'll throw it away.
I think we should head for the flank over
Okay.
here on the right side.
Yep, your engines are increased by 2 because you rolled an 18, which the DC was only 14, so I don't even need to look at my
Beautiful. Are you opposed to moving on this side over here?
Yeah.
Or are you trying to move into position for an attack?
I think that they're definitely going to out damage us, but I think we can get on their flank.
What was our movement again? Speed 4. So we have 6 spaces we can move?
Yeah.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6?
We can't turn, so
Oh yeah, that's
we'll
right.
have to start out going.
Yep.
Why don't we just go straight, I guess, and then veer off to the side?
Yeah, so we'll go up 4 and it takes 2 to turn. Right?
Or do you have to move a minimum?
You have to move a minimum of 2 before you can turn.
Yeah, so let's go 2 and we'll start heading off this
Okay.
way.
We'll get to movement in a
Oh, yeah,
second,
that's right.
because they
That's
still have their engineering phase. So, unlike normal combat, everybody does engineering phase. We finish that, then we move on
That's
to.
right, that's right.
They are gonna. The Eoxian vessel is going to attempt to divert to their weapons.
We're like barely peeking out of last
2,
side.
so they're going to fail. The asteroid is also going to look to divert to their weapons, which shouldn't be too hard. For engineering, they've got 12 in there. so they cannot roll 1 on their attack rolls. Into our piloting phase. Our
Okay.
pilots, go ahead and roll. You want this one?
Sure.
Plus whatever your piloting modifier is.
I think it was +4. Is it 6? I can't remember.
6. It's a 16.
Okay, 16. The Asteray got a 29, which is it's a level. It's a CR12 ship.
What's the ship size of our vessel?
You're medium, which
And the Asteray is gargantuan.
gargantuan.
So it's like, what, 3 levels bigger than us in size?
that sounds right.
I think she took a whole set and put it in the middle, too.
Okay, so you guys will go move first. The back one's Blucher got a 21.
Jeez.
Okay.
Okay. Alright. So you're cool with that?
Yeah.
The move 2 and then start flanking?
Yeah.
Is there any stunts that you would like to do, or just move?
Just moving.
Yeah, I don't think it's... Because there's not necessarily a stunt that increases the distance we can travel, right? More so just
It's maneuverability.
maneuvering.
There is a one that lets you move further, but it reduces your turn. So you would have to go 4 instead of 2 before you could turn.
Oh, I see. Okay, well, I'm good with where we're at then.
Okay.
Making our way around this asteroid.
What?
Okay. The Asteray is going to
What is it?
use the...
You want a drink? I don't know where you set your drink. Oh, you got your drink.
Oh, 33. I don't know if I want to try that one. They're...
You got your bed made. It's gonna be hard on the floor.
I bet they can't move for... Yeah, they can't do anything.
All right. Is there any science officer actions before we move into the gunnery phase?
Science
No,
officer
that's
was
where he
two
moved
stray.
his feet, Artemis.
Stray.
So we don't need to do that one. Or you could. If you'd like to balance the shields, you could do that. You can target system. So you could have yours target a specific system on the enemy aircraft, spacecraft. You can scan.
We can try to target their weapons.
Okay.
What do you think?
So how this works is, if you succeed, you choose one system. The next attack made by your starship hits that enemy ship, scores a critical hit on a 19 or 20, and if you do critical damage, it's guaranteed to affect that particular system.
I see the ship's
Yes.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, we might as well just get a little pop off while we're.
try to take out their forward weapons.
I guess does that apply to disabling a shield potentially, or is that not how that would work?
No, it's strictly speaking about
Just the hit chance, basically.
yeah. So it makes it where you get a crit on a 19 or a 20.
And if you crit, it's really bad.
It makes it where that particular system's guaranteed to glitch.
Gotcha.
They're on our starboard side, so we can use our flamethrower on weapons turn.
That's nice.
That's one of our higher damage
She
weapons.
wants to get.
Oh, you want to? Yeah, we can. I think. Okay. So.
You sure you don't remember
Nothing.
Ottoman?
So she is. That's going to be a fail on that one. So.
Okay.
The Asteray is going to do the same.
This enemy ship's quite ballsy. If they're still wanting to move in with a freaking Star Destroyer floating around in the neighborhood.
It is bigger than the other ships that we faced.
That's a nat 20 for the
That's true.
Asteray. So they are targeting the power core. The Blackwind Sploocher is going to skip the science officer. So that gets us to the gunnery phase.
Okay.
So Asteray is my prior lieutenant. What was the name of their ship again?
The
The
Asteray.
Asteroid.
Oh, it is the Asteray.
Her nickname
her
was
nickname
Asteray,
is Asteray, but-
and she is
okay.
named the ship
Yeah,
the same.
Okay. Her name is Lobata, not Ray.
Nevada Unlundada.
All right, so we're in the gunnery phase.
Flak.
Yeah, flak.
Whatever it's called, the flak something.
The flak thrower.
Yeah.
John, fire off the flak cannons with all your might. I'm going to try to intimidate to boost his roll.
Perfect. Give me an intimidation check.
Yeah, my sense of self is compromised, so this is more than likely going to do just fine.
That's a 21.
Oh,
Perfect. So you're at a +4 on your gunnery
great.
check. You can fire
Well,
once
uh-huh.
per weapon.
Hmm. Oh yeah, and then what is it -4 for the 2 shots?
For the 2 shots, but it has to be 2 different weapons, which the downside is you only have 1 weapon in that
All
arc.
right. Okay. Well, then I won't worry about that. I'll as I get into my little spinny chair, like in the Millennium Falcon, I'll flip the switch and hit the big red button that says eject on the
Sit with me.
I'll use the flak thrower,
Perfect.
and that does based off of my attack, right?
It's your base attack plus your... Oh, what's it?
Dexterity.
So you get to pick on this. It's your base attack or ranks in piloting plus dex plus a bonus from computers if you have it plus your captain officer. So in this case, you have a +6 because you have 3 in dex and 3 in piloting.
Right. Okay.
And then
Actually,
you get the +4 from the captain, so you have a +10 currently.
Actually, my piloting here is only 4.
But you put 3 ranks in it. Right?
Oh, I see. But like, no, yeah, the 3 plus the 1 gives me a 4. Is that not right?
Oh goodness. The ship itself has what your modifier is. Give me just a
Does it
sec.
say it on the page?
Oh.
No, because it depends on each individual person because it's their own.
Their own like,
Stats.
Do you have a blanket? Grab your blanket.
I got you. Oh, I don't think I updated this whenever you leveled up. So yeah, it would be +7 because you have
Okay.
4 in piloting.
Okay. There we go.
So you have a +11.
11. Oh, 26 to hit.
That hits. Roll
Okay.
me some damage.
We got 3d4. What's this +8 all about? Gosh dang it. Point +8. 5 hits is.
That's the point +8 is the ability to take out target lock that's going to hit.
Okay.
And
okay.
if you use that ability, you can instead use the +8 instead of your normal modifier.
Gotcha. Okay.
Ooh, good rolls.
3, 4. What's the other one?
4. So 11.
11 points of damage.
11 into its forward arc.
That was almost max damage.
That was almost max damage. Yeah. Wow.
You said 11?
Yes.
This will be a little bit easier because I don't have to keep track of. Well, I guess I have to keep track too. Okay. And that's the only one in that arc. The Blackwind Sploocher is going to use its heavy EMP cannon.
The Blackwind Sploocher?
Yep.
I was thinking the same thing. What a name.
That's a 12, which I think doesn't hit.
Oh no, our AC is 16.
Cool. And it's using its aft. It's going to attack with its gyro laser on the other vessel.
Alright.
Which is a 14, which won't hit either. Alright. The asteroid, though,
Getting ready for a death laser to pierce them. And
it's going to use
us.
its super plasma cannon.
Okay.
Okay.
The prophecy.
The prophecy.
Will it? That's gonna. That's a nat 20.
Oh!
The asteroid.
Kill him.
So that's 3d6 times 10 twice.
Times 10 twice? Wow.
So 2,
Times 10 twice?
2.
That's 2 extra zeros at the end of the
That's
number.
40 for the first. 1,370.
Oh,
attack.
see you later, dude.
So when you've destroyed a shield, like which I'm sure has just happened, does the residual damage pierce
It goes into the
aft?
hole.
Oh.
So as soon as the shield goes down, then you start taking hull damage. And depending on how much hull damage you take,
Our hull only has 85 health.
which this one also only has 85.
Yeah.
And it also only had 15 in its shields.
Can one of the enemy's arms from the explosion of their ship get flung out and
I love how you immediately picked up that it got one-shotted.
Yeah, and, we just have to use our windshield
Yeah,
wipers,
wipers to get it off.
if one of them is not working, it just
It just smudges.
yeah.
Yeah, so you guys see it kind of as this huge laser, kind of like the Spartan laser, shoots out and just
Oh
pierces
my
through
gosh.
the vessel,
Wow.
splitting it in half.
T will just drop down some shades and just look, hands behind his back.
Oh my gosh, you're some sort of okay. Okay. Ship down, ship down.
It was all you, buddy.
Thank you. I needed something like that.
What do you need? Alright, CPs.
Do you go?
Good night, Artemis.
Good night.
Did you leave it over on the counter?
No, I just had it.
Did it go
I
into
was
the,
like, I
did
just
it go in
had
the
it.
admin hole?
No, she came over here and sat here. And then I don't know where it went. Artemis, do you have my phone?
empty?
No, but it was about empty, so
Oh.
I didn't have a chance to still.
Wow.
It was very close though. So yes, that will conclude our
John, can you hand me that pillow right there?
our starship combat for a moment.
A bit overkill, don't you think?
I mean, I could have waited for you to do it if you'd like, but that little pea shooter on the side there looked like it was going to take
Well,
quite a while.
It's hard when you don't have the funding.
Well, it's almost like you were part of an organization that facilitated you to move up in the ranks and get more funding.
Oh, it was all politics. I was never one for that. I ran my ship like we did in the old days. And Shanty is not that old.
Well, we could discuss the particulars of you potentially returning to the Free Captains. I'm inclined to waive some of the more demanding requirements based on your prior service.
Well,
Maybe even a seat at the table in the future if you so choose.
as your direct supervisor would be sufficient. I'm just joking. Let us board your ship and we can talk further.
Maybe let's move a little bit further out of this undead sector of space before, but
What does a little bit further mean? We are on our own mission.
well, if you don't have the time for the pleasantries, we could do it at another time.
Well, what do you think, John?
Are you in? Can I like put it on mute?
Yeah, we'll say there's like a screen. It would be one of those kind of where like you could still see people talking.
We'll just casually like.
We'll just put like there's like a. I'll just like put on like a slight blur filter, where it's just enough.
Like everything's out of focus except what's right in front of the camera.
Right,
It's like the old TV, like the black and white
Yeah,
fuzz.
exactly. Are you inclined to think that they will help us?
I think help is an asterisk.
Should I be more discriminatory against these pirates?
I think it's fun to do so.
Why did you leave in the first place?
Well, that's a loaded question, John. I'm happy doing what I'm doing now.
Is it good that we've bumped into your friends here in space?
Before they annihilated that ship, my answer is still the same. Yes and no. If things go poorly, well, they are much faster and stronger than we are.
Then is it necessary for us to jump into the shark's mouth?
But if we don't, the shark will still be there.
Hey, I'm not the captain.
Let's go.
Yes, let's have a good time. And I'll just start like kind of having the sparks kind of pile around the debris.
Perfect.
Is there anything to sort of like from the ship floating in pieces, or is everything blown out and hurling through space now?
Can we like get dangerously close and like scratch some of the paint off of like the side of the ship?
What we'll say is that John was trying to convince Sparks that she needed to get closer to like see what the goods were, and Sparks took that literal and like got right into the fucking debris. So you guys are like flying through it instead of like around it.
You just like like steel like rubbing against the outside of our ship.
Roll me percentile dice.
Okay, can I try to look outside the side mirrors of our spaceship? If that is indeed what they have. And just be like, oh, don't worry, I think it will buff out.
That is an 11.
As you guys are kind of looking through the debris here, there's nothing. You could tell that there was some decent weapons on it that potentially you could have thrown into like the cargo bay until like you could actually equip it. But unfortunately, because of how the plasma cannon sort of hit it just obliterated everything. To be honest, the size of the plasma cannon was pretty much the size of the ship, so it's like that scene where like everything's just getting vaporized.
Right. Okay. Yeah, there's not much left to speak of. Okay. Yeah, so like we'll just sort of like tie on to each other, I guess. Like I don't know how. Do we just like?
There would be like a dock.
A
So
dock.
you guys would pull up side by side, and then kind of like an extension out the two
Right.
vessels as like
Right.
a bridge.
Like the thing at the airport.
As soon as you guys kind of walk in, you guys can already tell how large the ship was before you had gotten up close and started walking around. If there wasn't someone there to greet you and kind of show you where to go meet with Lovato, you guys would clearly get lost very quickly because of how large this is. It's basically a small city.
Okay. Real quick, are the free captains? I don't know if John would know, or I would know this from traveling with you. Like, are they like a government body, or are they like a rebellious, like actual pirate?
I was under the
organization?
assumption that it was like a glorified mercenary service of sorts.
Give me. Oh, you guys don't have history, do you?
I have, culture.
You could roll a profession, right? What was your profession?
My profession is a smuggler.
Yeah, you could roll me a smuggler at advantage. You just roll me a intelligence roll.
Okay.
Well, that's not 22.
Oh, nice.
But that's a 29 in total.
Intelligence, it's a 16.
So, John, you're familiar that the Free Captains are an organized sort of pirate body. They have rules that they associate. Think of like the Pirates of the Caribbean. There's sort of rules that they follow.
Parlay.
They take care of each other. They don't attack each other. And there's some sort of form of government in the Asperia, which is like the actual asteroid belt in the Pact worlds. It's like equivalent to our asteroid belt, where it's like an actual, unlike this, where it's just sporadic asteroids.
Are we talking like pseudo One Piece style?
I haven't read enough One Piece to give you a discernible yes, but it's more organized than Pirates of the Caribbean. So if that fits a One Piece vibe, that's more or less. For you, T, you've been part of them, so you're very familiar. It is a very taboo thing to attack another free captains unless they've done something to be kicked out. Which is why when she keeps bringing up the emblem, in the back of your head, I don't want to really associate with them, but you also know that it effectively takes away any threat of being attacked by a free captain.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of other vessels that will avoid you because they know if they pick a fight with you, they're picking a fight with this whole organization.
So you're also saying that, hey, I'm associated with the free captains.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like easy to join, hard to leave.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And if you leave by choice, you're always still kind of a free captain. But if you leave by force, you're probably just dead anyway.
Right.
Because you are no longer under the protection of the free captains.
Right.
In addition to, you would be familiar, part of the reason why you picked Besmara as your patron is because the free captains, that is the god that they choose to follow.
Yeah.
Not all of them necessarily believe in faith, but most free captains will make a prayer to Besmara before they set sail.
Are we being escorted once we get onto the ship?
Mm-hmm. So, now that you guys have kind of like started getting in there, there was some lowly sort of Kathasi, a little gnome pirate meets you at the docking port, and he, hey, middies, follow me. We're gonna go over to the little conference room and have a little chat. He's wearing kind of like black leathers and an eye patch.
Okay.
But as soon as he meets you, he actually flipped the eye patch down so you could clearly see that he doesn't have a bad eye. He's just wearing
it for fun.
John, he's a dangerous one.
My eyes will briefly start to flash red.
Superman.
Before I just kind of... Yes, please take us to this little conference room. Hopefully it's large enough for both of me and my friend here.
During this walk, T is walking with the grace and confidence of a captain, like as if he had never left the role. Right, I was too fast. I'm sorry.
Let's see here. What is the... So does this ship, is it like... Are we talking like it like was manufactured by Apple sort of sleekness? Like is it like, does it look like the PS5? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Is the interior matching though? Is I guess what I'm doing at? Okay.
Yeah, like while everybody's kind of dressed in sort of pirate style garb, they've got like the stuff to cover like, or handkerchief like sort of stuff to cover like the bottoms. Some of them have that. Some of them have like the eye patches. Some like it's a lot of that garb, but the vessel itself is pristine.
Are we talking like our ship is like just like a regular boat compared to a cruise ship?
So this would look kind of like...
I was imagining a cruise ship size, but I'm not sure if it was that big.
Like a battleship sort of thing.
Okay. Oh,
like
so I mean...
It's a similar concept, but you can tell that this is decked out more... I would say militaristic, but not... It's decked out with weapons, and you can tell that like it would come in and destroy stuff like it did.
Just now. Okay. I'll just follow in tow.
So... Remind me the name of the organization that we're working for currently.
You're just part of the Pact Worlds.
Yeah, no, but we're working for Cara de la Cruz. What's her name?
Premix Melacruz,
Yes.
who's the Premix of Absalon Station, but you guys are officially part of the Pact World Council now. So she's a member of the Pact World Council because of her rank on Absalon Station, that specific world.
Right.
You guys are now working for the solar system itself, as far as like the governing body of the solar system.
Like you left the pirates to join the world police.
Yeah.
More or less.
More or less. Okay. And what was it called? What was it? The organization?
The Pact World Council.
Pact World. Okay.
As you're kind of like walking down the hallways, think kind of like the Star Trek Next Generation sort of, where it's the hallways, there's doors on the sides.
Okay.
Anytime you're coming up to like a passageway that requires you to like enter a door, the door opens automatically. There's like the turbo lift to go through all the different things.
Okay.
It'll take you probably about 10 minutes to get from there to the conference room. As you guys enter into the conference room, there's a large, kind of like the oval table. T, you would recognize Levada sitting at the far end with a glass of Carthassian wine, which is a green, like a neon green wine. There's enough for everybody, part of the party, already set out. Next to her, you'll see a...
Excuse me, do you have any double A's? Even 9-volt batteries would be okay.
I think my crew could wrangle up a few batteries if that's what you'd prefer.
So do we call you Captain then? Or what do you feel comfortable with?
Well, for you, T, Levada is fine. Or Asteray.
Well, I mean, I was there when you got that nickname, and I don't know if you would have gotten it without me, so I will call you Levada.
As you so choose. And who else you got here with you?
This is my trusty companion, John.
Yes, my name is John. Hello. Sorry, I'm in a little bit of a funk.
He's taken on some bad news recently.
Oh. Well, based off of where you guys are coming from, I'd have to say, did you make a trip into the sun, or was it maybe Avalon, or...
Well,
I went to see my robotic parents. It did not go well.
Oh, so Avalon, alright.
Yes.
Well, we were there for a couple of reasons. If you must know where I've been since the Free Captains, I know I haven't technically left yet. I'm still working there, but we have joined the Pact World Council.
Yes, the PWC.
Oh. Well, you wouldn't be the first to double dip, so to speak.
Well, I think it's best that you take advantage of every opportunity. And, you know, with our background, I think it'd be foolish to not do so.
Oh, it's part of the reason why I was here. I'd heard some little rinky-dink fire engine red vessel had bested one of the free captain ships, so I had to investigate myself because I knew it couldn't be just anybody.
Wait, we fought a free captain ship?
From my understanding, the only ship that we fought...
Or like those insectoid things, right?
Yeah, but
or
they
no.
didn't have free captain's logos on
Did
them.
we?
I thought the only one that with the logo was the asteroid.
This would have been probably 3 or 4 sessions ago. It was your very first starship combat.
Oh, when we were down in the... I remember. Okay.
I see. We were... I won't give you any excuses. We were testing out our new ship.
Well, and you put quite the beating on them. They came back all up in arms about needing to come in and destroy this mighty vessel.
Well, from our rinky-dink dinky over there, I mean, we were able to let loose quite a few missiles. I'm honestly a bit surprised that the free captains would allow someone to captain their ship and get hit so many times by such a slow projectile. I don't know. If you ask me, I think they should be demoted.
Oh, are you looking for their position?
No, I'm just... I am looking for the good reputation of the free captains. If I was able to best them in our sized vessel, I mean, hey.
You're an armchair captain.
Well, I mean, I will say we quickly had them removed from captaining. Just give them a little bit more experience scrubbing the deck. If you weren't already tracking, that was the Silent Vortex, which, if I recall, was one of your rival vessels. It's a different captain than whenever you were still captaining.
As I said, mere coincidence. But deserved from what I'm hearing now.
At this point, I've gathered enough data that I'm pretty sure I can come to certain conclusions. Based off of the banter between the two of you, I must say that you may have been tied to each other intimately. Am I incorrect?
How much have you said, T?
The door's open is all I'm gonna say.
Because Laquata, whatever your name is, excuse me, my robotic mind is a little bit fuzzy. Why? Hold on. Why are we on your ship right now? Do you wish to help us? Or...
I already offered to reinstate Shanty as part of the free captains. He just needs to make sure he puts an emblem on. He's a little naked at the moment, and as you can see, all kinds of other vessels come up and try and put their foot into you.
Do I get the impression that she's, like, sort of, like, subtly throwing down some intimidation?
I would say it's kind of like it's
like a subtle warning.
A warning, but not necessarily from her.
Okay.
If you'd like to make a perception check, go ahead.
Sure. Okay. I'm just trying to get her. Oh, that's going to be.
Is that a nat 20?
That's a nat 20. Is it perception? You said?
I think it's on there, right?
Yeah. Oh well, technically it was a nat 20, but it is bumped down to 18.
In either case, you kind of get the vibe that she's implying that the free captains may attack. It wouldn't necessarily be her.
Okay.
Because she's now confirmed who mans this vessel. But while it's an organization, they can't be putting, like, no attack rules out
Okay.
across the organization.
So is this kind of like a Spider-Man Black Cat kind of?
If you're willing to kind of go off the cuff, like, because I know I haven't really sent you anything, but I'm just
Yeah, I'm honestly kind of waiting till
Okay.
you throw things in because I don't have the information to like pull more.
well, to be honest with you, Nevada, since the events that destroyed the SC Conquistador, I was reached out by Besmora, and I'm approaching a different calling. If that means I have to still fly under the free captains, I'll do so, but I will no longer be their dog.
Well, I mean, more or less, that's what I was implying. Is you'd be part of the organization if we have some sort of threats impacting the overall economy. We may reach out to you, but you would have the choice to deny. But
Is it really a choice?
well, I wasn't exactly going to have you come back in as a grunt into the free captains. You were already a captain in the fleet.
The other problem that I see here is we have sworn loyalty to the Pact World Council.
Which, like I said, isn't the first free captain to double dip. We already have some sort of rules with the Pact Worlds. We mostly stay to the Esperera. That way, we don't draw too much attention from the actual protectors.
With our,
And Besmara blesses all of us.
I'm still realizing myself. I'm not as competent as a follower of Besmara as I am a captain. But I'm trying to figure out how that works together. Don't you laugh at me. I taught you everything you know.
Oh, yes. Oh, it was such great times.
Listen, what happened to the Conquistador was not my fault, and we talked about this.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't choose to set the self-destruct in the middle of a fight as a intimidation tactic, but
You blew up your own vessel.
It felt right at the time.
No, right at the time.
but the other benefit is, the free captains are everywhere. So, as far as assistance, as your friend John so eloquently put it, we could provide information, keep an eye out for whatever you're searching for. It seems that you're on some sort of mission.
What do you think, John? Because I'm technically still a part of it, regardless if we accept the offer or not. We do need to let other ships know that we are associated, at least.
Man, hold on, I'm thinking. Levada, how long have you been with the free captains?
My whole life.
Is she about, like, middle-aged now?
Yeah, so I would say she's like, appearance-wise, you'd say probably 30s, 40s.
What was her race?
Cathasan.
That was the
Elongated head,
Oh, that's right.
forearms.
That's right. Okay. You were going to. That was your first character, right? That you rolled up, right?
No.
He almost switched to that one.
I almost did, but I've been playing T since the
Oh,
start.
okay. May we have a second to discuss?
Take all the time you need as she kind of like swirls her neon light. If you'd like, I can step out of the room if.
Yes, I was just going to say that immediately, but I'm trying to be a little bit more polite.
Perfect. So her and the two sort of other pirates standing behind her, a elf and another Lashunta, kind of similarly garbed, walk out with her.
I'm going to use my, what's it called? My my mind link to speak directly to John.
Okay.
To have a voiceless conversation.
Okay.
I don't believe that this will cause any problems with our current quest. However, I think it does invite more involvement with the free captains.
Yes, this is what I was thinking exactly. What also may be a concern is it sounds like the free captains and PWC have found a way to play nicely with each other. However, who's to say with the free captains' more involvement in this work that it may be creating some pain points? I don't know. But like you said, it doesn't really matter if we take the offer or not.
If we do take the offer, and we'll be able to join in on a good stand-in for my previous position. But I did destroy one of their warships, so there could be consequences to pay that I didn't necessarily pay for. But
Maybe your forearm girlfriend can just push it underneath the metaphorical rug. It sounds like maybe she is already... It doesn't sound like they care too much. At least her. Do you feel compelled?
I wanted to leave that part of me behind, but I worried that if I had left for good because of the damages and situation that I caused, it would have resulted in a not so friendly departure. So I've gone on a leave of absence.
A sabbatical, if you will.
Oh, man.
But I guess it's time to face the consequences. I feel like Besmora would not be happy with me if I declined.
Yes. In fact, she may even change her name to Less Mora. Oh, wait. Hold on. That joke was better before I said it to you in my head. Sorry, I'm getting confused now because we're having a conversation in my head. John's struggling. He's edging on a blue screen right now, I think.
So, but with our stipend from the PWC, and then our involvement with the free captains, we may be able to expedite our funds to get a bigger vessel.
Why not? Yes, let's... At the very least, we can be transparent with the council that we have more intimate dealings with the free captains, and that might be beneficial to them. I don't know.
Hopefully this is all a blowover type of situation and they don't mind one bit. And if they do, well,
They're the one who hired us. It's their fault.
We are their front runner on information on Tohaak. So, what are they going to do?
If it's good.
I'm just going to transfer over my link to Levada. I'm sorry. I think we've come to a decision.
Ooh, it's been a while. With this type of communication, it's a little bit more intimate.
It is intimate. You're not safe with your thoughts. They're in my hands.
Oh my god.
You can't hear the conversation, but you hear my antenna bouncing up and down.
like birds trying to mate. They're just like...
Or like the crocodile from Peter Pan, like...
Right.
Yeah.
That's not the only thing that's been in your hands before, but that's a conversation for another time. She'll enter back into the room.
T will just kind of. I think we can join back in. I'm not sure who you'd need us to talk to, but I would like to go up to a similar position of what I had.
You're talking to them. I run the free captains.
That's honestly a hard thought to wrap around my head. You were just so useful by my side for so long. I always wondered that you were always better. But you were there. That was one of your best qualities. And now I'm here looking at you from an equal pedestal.
Oh, well, if you think so. I think we could reinstate you as one of the captains. Not quite one of our fleet commanders, but...
I'll get there. Can only hit self-destruct so many times, am I right?
Well, when we scanned your ship, we saw you haven't installed one on this one yet, so it's probably great.
We didn't have the CP for it.
Yeah, can I just pull up a hologram on my arm of the ship, just to see if our ship doesn't have a self-destruct button, right?
That's what she just said. She scanned your guys' ship,
Oh.
and she's like...
Oh, okay.
But yeah, you could verify wait, she scanned her ship?
To be fair, I mean, it's not that big of a boom if we were to have one. So, I mean...
Well...
We'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Or burn it, as you used to say.
Yep.
Yeah, that is something I used to say.
So meta-wise, as far as ships go, you guys won't necessarily need to purchase a bigger one unless you choose to.
Sure.
As you guys level up, the ship levels up with you. So
Right.
the ship tier is based off of your guys's. So when you go to retrofits, you can add on additional compartments and things like that to the ship during...
But would we, if we were to decide we wanted a larger ship, would we be able to just upgrade what we had from...
That's what I'm saying. So
I see.
you would add we're adding an expansion here for this, and kind of slowly increase the size of the OMAG, especially with the OMAG being a living ship,
Right.
a crystalline living
Yes.
Well, T, I think how we'll run this is, since you're already committed with the Pact World Council, is we'll instate you as a... Let's see what word I'm looking for. Not temporary, but a part-time free captain. You come and go as you choose as far as missions. If you recall, we post our board with what sort of things we need done. So feel free to check in every once in a while, and we'll let you do whatever task you feel you are so inclined.
Would you be willing to escort us the rest of the way to Verces?
By all means. You want to care to elaborate on what takes you out that way, or what sort of mission you're on?
There is a high-profile person of interest we are locating. And that's the next place for our closest clues.
Well, we'll be happy to help. As you know, the free captains, we don't like unknown quantities. It's bad for trade.
Well, this is a guy that's upsetting the balance for sure. I don't want to reveal too much, just in case if we're going to be stepping on any toes. We'll speak with the PWC and see how comfortable they are with us working hand in hand.
Understood. As far as the rest of the travel to Verces, unless you guys have other RP elements you want to do either on this ship or your own, we can cover that. Otherwise, it would be a pretty uneventful rest of the trip. You've got a gargantuan-sized free captain ship escorting you, so there's not much that would
there's only one thing I want to do, as far as free time goes. How much more travel time do we
If I recall, you guys only had like 1 or 2 days
Yeah,
left.
that's what I thought. So I am just going to laser engrave Alt F4 onto my robotic knuckles.
Nice.
Perfect.
What does that mean?
You
Try
hit-
pressing it. Actually,
no. Alt F4 like terminates whatever window you're on.
And it turns off your computer.
Why would you tell me to press it? You
It's
butthole?
the internet's first joke ever.
Yeah,
The whole trick was to like get people to accidentally turn their computer off. Anyway, so I'm putting it on my knuckles. Alt F4.
Kind of like he's a thug.
Yeah.
A computer thug.
Yeah. Just a computer troll, really.
Right. T, is there anything you'd like to do?
I'll be there for the engraving.
Oh, perfect.
Maybe you do it.
Yeah, I'll do it for you.
Okay.
It wasn't uncommon that some of our crewmates would want to do, not necessarily engravings per se, but tattoos or stars. And I had a different group than some of the free captains. It was a looser run ship, so to speak. Regardless, if you're thinking about other ideas, I think you should consider Control-Alt-Delete. Right? Like on your arm, or...
I just don't have enough knuckles for that.
Well, I think once you get the ones on your knuckles, it opens the door to getting many more.
For flavor, how I'm envisioning this is like T is flipped down like blowtorch goggles, and he's like,
yeah, just like, like with a little, yeah. I'll just go with the knuckles. You see, T, I don't want this engraving to necessarily send off any alarms. I've just been in a low place and figured something like this would represent that.
I see. Though it's not your intention, if somebody's close enough to read that, I mean, Alt F4 is a pretty good message that they're about to receive.
Yes, and if I punch somebody hard enough, maybe it will leave the actual phrase Alt F4 on them, you know what I mean?
You might just hit Alt F. It'd be really hard to hit with your thumb. We just have to give them a little bit of this swirly durly. Shanty will give a couple eyebrow raises. I've been practicing.
I can't wait to see you try to throw another grenade. It will be fun.
Yeah. Let me tell you what. You're going to have to ask Levada about some of the other experiences that we've had with maybe not necessarily grenades, but there's a reason why I don't operate the weapons either.
Tell me the craziest thing that's ever happened.
Okay, so once we were in the middle of a huge onslaught battle. There were so many ships on our left, on our right. And the only option to get rid of all of them was to...
Was to what?
Well, self-destruct. But that's what brought us here, John. No, aside from that, it was just putting, usually the newest crew members' belongings in the flat cannon and just shooting it out.
Like a bunch of forks and like
Like clothes and...
clothes, yeah. They're like they're like fucking sleeping bag. Yeah.
It was a hazing ritual.
Yeah, like it was the ritual that you had to throw away all their stuff, so they had to pillage it from another ship or something.
I like to use the term smuggle.
Right.
That's it, though. I'll blow off some of the dust.
Wow. Alt F4. Thank you. I appreciate this tea.
You're welcome. Yep. I think that's pretty much all I wanted to do.
Yeah, same.
Perfect.
Probably gonna go.
Alright.
Which
Okay.
I was going to say that's a perfect segue. So we'll return after leveling up with the approach to Verces. All right. As you guys approach Verces, kind of what you were expecting, John. You can see one side of the planet is completely scorched. It's kind of like this brown sort of look from atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
The other side is this sort of, it looks mostly white. There's some like blue patches where you can see there's like ocean that isn't completely covered in ice, but for the most part it would be reminiscent of looking at like the South Pole, sort of like on a map from space. There is a green strip around sort of the vertical equator.
Quick question about how planets work.
Uh-huh.
So, I'm aware of what tidally locked means, but just for some clarification,
It means
that means
instead it doesn't spin.
it doesn't spin.
So this side is
Always facing the sun. Okay, that's what I thought. So like, because what I was wondering if like in my head I wasn't sure if tidally locked also means it doesn't have like a rotation at all. Which
it revolves around the sun, but one side's always facing.
always right. Okay.
It doesn't tilt either, so there's not like our seasons.
Oh, I see.
So there's not that, and there is no natural satellites like moons. So like, there's water and oceans, but the driving force is more off of the like.
Tide then?
There's not. It's driven more by like the electromagnetic
I see.
sphere, and it's less off of like a. So it's not as robust as say our tide.
Right.
So
Gotcha.
there is some, but it's minuscule compared.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
That's a cool concept.
The asteroid will kind of bid you adieu as you guys kind of come in for landing. You have been given the coordinates of the atoll. As you kind of approach in, what you'll see is it's one of those islands, kind of like what we were playing on the map last night, where it's a ring. There's a small opening, and it's kind of got like a lagoon in the center of it.
Okay.
There are white beaches on both the inner and the outer ring. You can clearly see small houses spread across the island, with one large mansion on the highest point of the island. Your readings on the computer are saying it's roughly 75 degrees outside, the sunlight is shining, and there's a nice breeze.
Okay. Go ahead, sorry.
As you come to the landing pad near the mansion, you'll notice that there seems to be no one around. The beaches, while beautiful, are barren. There are no indicators on the houses that they've been lived in any longer. In fact, give me a perception check.
That's a 14.
3 with the 12.
Okay. You don't get a whole lot out of it aside from like you can see that like I said, the houses haven't been lived in a little while. You can see that there's some like ivy starting to kind of like go up the side of a few of them, and the walk paths from the houses to each other and like kind of around. Think of kind of like a resort, how they have like the little huts or whatever.
Yeah,
and there's
alright.
paths between them and everything. It's kind of set up like that, but they're slightly overgrown with that vegetation.
Okay. Like overgrown in the sense that they're not being maintained?
Or lived in.
Okay.
The mansion itself up on the hill is a Victorian style with a blue-green colored brick.
Oh, okay.
You can see that there's 3 stories to the mansion with several balconies on the upper 2 levels. The balcony on the second story is large enough to have what appears to be an outdoor bar and dining area. In the upper floor in one of the towers there appears to be an observatory. Despite the appearance of the other houses on the island, this mansion actually appears to be in good condition. The surrounding lawn and exterior seems to be well upkept, with even a few hedges being sculpted into what appears to be a petrosaur-type design. If you'd like to be able to identify this, give me a life science roll.
I will do that.
I think I will do that as well.
It's a dirty 20.
16.
Your rolls have been
So both of you, what you would pick up off of this is a Niaq. That's Niaq. This is a common species on the dark side of Verces.
Niaq?
Mm-hmm.
Can you spell that out one more time?
Niaq.
This is a type of species that's found here?
Yeah, on the dark side of the planet. It's a petrosaur, so it's kind of, in particular, it looks like a pterodactyl.
Oh, okay.
The head is a little bit different than what you would expect for a pterodactyl. It's kind of like, instead of like a actual snout and everything, there's just like cilia coming out of it.
Oh, okay. Cool. Creepy. Cool, though. Are they like passive creatures? Like how big are they?
They would be considered large.
Okay.
And the hedges kind of follow that same sort of trend. One of you had like a 20 or something like that. You'd be familiar that the Niacs also tend to have they feed off of a euphoria from like the bloodstream of their prey. Essentially, they inflict their prey with a poison that causes them to go into a euphoric state and like basically a comatose, and then they feed off of it. They keep it alive pretty much indefinitely in this euphoric state.
Oh shit. That's some like that reminds me of a Love, Death, and Robots thing.
As you guys exit the starship, an 8-foot-tall humanoid with elongated arms and legs, black beady eyes, wearing butler attire, approaches. And this is a Verthani, which is the residents of the planet.
Okay.
Essentially, they look like regular humans, except for like the beady eyes. Like they're all black, like a rat eye.
Okay.
And the arms, and you know how like our arms kind of end at our knee usually, like when you're standing. It's closer to like their calf, and their legs are a little bit longer, sort of thing. Like it's just, it almost looks like they've been in space for a long time. So like everything's just elongated out because the gravity isn't as compressive.
Okay. Fleshy?
Speaking of, like...
Normal human flesh.
Oh, okay.
Speaking of, like, is gravity, like, stronger here?
It's normal Earth standards.
Okay.
Good afternoon. My name is Gideon Solar, and I'm currently the head butler for the Tohaak estate. Looking right at you, John. Master Michael, I'm glad to see you return. I do hope you have regained more of who you are, or who you once were. But it is my pleasure to serve you either way. We will make sure to have rooms made up for your guests as well. If you'd like to follow me, I will bring you up to the dinner as we prepare dinner. Is there any dietary concerns I should inform the chefs of?
Yes, Michael, please do inform us of your dietary restrictions.
You just see like my head just kind of like start like twitching. That name means nothing to me, right?
That's 100% you.
John will just kind of like the TV static will flash through his eyes for a second before he just kind of. I just ate. I'm fine.
Well, I say, Master Michael, if you prefer, I could call you by your new presumed name, John, if that makes you more comfortable.
Were you expecting us today?
Well, I mean, we saw your ship coming in.
Right. Yeah, it's hard to miss. After you.
I prefer Michael.
As we start watching
As you guys kind of come up the path from the landing spot here, once again, you'll see that the front lawn is well kept. It's almost unsettling how well upkept it is compared with the rest of the island.
like almost like it's clinical, almost, and like a
Right, like it. The way that Gideon's met you, and the way everything's upkept, you can tell that like the serving staff have made a point of making sure at least this part looks pristine. and your impression is that whatever happened here, everybody else has left. As you guys kind of enter into the den, so he comes into the foyer. It's kind of like what you expect with a large house like this. You've got like the spiral staircase coming down to the foyer there. As you guys are kind of led into the den, you'll see several elegant armchairs and side tables for drinks. One of the walls showcases 2 large bookcases and a fireplace in the center. Above the mantle of the fireplace, you'll see the family crest with the same Niak image, except more designed. You can now clearly see that it is white, with a network of black-blooded veins across its body. If you'd like to give me another life science check, you might be able to ascertain a little bit more out of this.
I'm a little preoccupied with the whole Master Michael thing.
I'll keep my mind open, not necessarily like he's in a must be nice type of mentality.
Right.
Oh my god!
But he's looking at things with a little bit more of a like judging gaze,
Right.
so to speak. But that's a 13.
Gotcha. Kind of your initial one is more or less, you've kind of confirmed that the Nyack has no eyes and instead uses its mane of cilia to sense its surroundings based on variations in temperature.
He gets the goosies.
Outside of the family crest up above the mantle, are there any other like family sort of like regalia around? Like, is there like there's not any like, portraits or anything like that, is there?
There are, whether or not you would pick up on anything, they all look similar to Gideon. They're all Verthani, with.
I specifically meant with Tohaak.
Well, the thing is you guys haven't ever seen Tohaak, so you could presume one of these portraits has Tohaak in it, but you don't recognize at the moment.
Okay.
You will see on one of the walls facing out to the yard, there's a large window to let in natural light. And you'll also see kind of like what you'd expect based off of the title locked nature, is there's a blackout drapery currently pulled to the side, but you can kind of tell that they'll pull this in whenever it's nighttime because it never looks any different than midday here.
Okay. Hold on. Where are my... What was Tohaak's name again?
Rejuvenor.
Rejuvenor. As we're kind of in... I'll approach the mantle to get a closer up look of the crest. And I'll turn around. Gideon, have you seen Master Rejuvenor?
Not in quite some time. He got a message, which we'll get into that, I think, after dinner is probably best for the details of what he left for you. But he got a message essentially detailing something that he was fearful of. He went out to the cave, which, once again, we'll touch on after dinner, and made his own preparations for it, and departed not long after that, and has not returned since. That was probably about 2 or 3 months ago.
No word.
No, but to be honest, Rejuvenor didn't feel that this was his place anymore.
Right. Yes. Can I get any sense from him that, like, does Gideon believe that I am Michael?
You get the sense
how much does he know about me?
The way he's talking, you would 100% believe that he is privy to everything involving you. So, like, he referred to you as Michael because he knows that's who you are.
Right.
Whether or not you feel the same is indifferent, which is why he's a butler, so he's polite enough to go if that's not what you want to be called.
Right. Man, okay. When, okay. Dinner, yes, dinner. We shall discuss.
All right. Well, as I let the staff know to make preparations for your stay, might I interest you in some cocktails before dinner? We have a delightful green wine bottled in 292 AG. It has a nice snap since it's made with the berries from the frostmane plants on the dark side. We also have some Verthani whiskey from our own personal refinery. The atoll is known for its supply of lagunta, a form of grain that grows on the banks of Verthani lagoons. It has a nice smoky finish, served well in the Galorian old-fashioned or simple on the rocks. For those wishing for a non-alcoholic variety, we have a nice frostmane lemonade or perhaps a simple glass of water. And for you, John, we have a wide selection of oils.
I recently converted to synthetic.
I think our chefs should be able to find something.
Perfect.
And for you,
Do I have more of this?
What was Rejuvenor's drink of choice?
quite like myself, Rejuvenor was a man of our whiskey, so he usually would get a Galorian old-fashioned.
On the rocks, please.
As you say. After getting everyone's request, Gideon will head into the kitchens for a few minutes.
Okay.
If there's anything you guys would like to do in this room before he returns, we'll let that kind of play out now.
So it was like a 4 or 5 day journey on the
Total? Yeah.
Yeah. John, I don't know if it was a dream or if I drank too much. Or if it was just inner monologue. I feel a closer connection to Vesmora. And it's an interesting experience, you know. This was kind of a Hail Mary to, well, choose the religious road and run away from my problems. And it seems like it started to pay off a little bit. I was feeling a little bit of doubt there for a second.
You're getting the wrong kind of validation.
It's like the... No, I picked the right decision. Everything's working out now.
Yeah. But I was worried for a second.
When exactly did you stop worrying?
About 2 days ago.
Whenever you
You
reconnected with Levana.
You mean when we met your ex-girlfriend? I'm not saying they're related.
Maybe that is what it has to do with it. I mean, we fooled around a time or two. Say a girlfriend is a little pushing it, don't you think, Michael? I'm just kidding. If you don't like that, I'm just poking fun.
It just happens to be the name I had in a past life. I don't completely remember at all.
Yeah, it's like whenever people call me Captain Foxford. It's a different life.
What?
We'll talk about it later.
Oh, man.
Refers to that's the name that you use.
I was going to say that's T's to go to misdirection.
Yeah. While we're waiting, though, is there like a family portrait? That's specifically what I was trying to like.
Yeah, so you would see.
Or is this more like Tohaak? Like, is this the parents' house?
Tohaak is the last name.
I know, but like,
It's a family estate.
that's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
Okay.
So over the mantle was the family crest, but there's several paintings of different people. You see some of these characters and different ones. The largest and like most prominent one, kind of like over the head of one of the chairs, which seems to be like the main one. Mm-hmm. You'll see a portrait that's got like an older Verthani, kind of like graying beard, a female next to him, and then kind of like the normal like family photo, and then there's two younger male Verthani standing next to each other in the front.
So Verthani, is that like the closest thing to human, or?
It's almost exactly a human. It's
But
just
they're like-
elongated.
They're like fucking big old things.
Okay, sorry, I wasn't.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what the racial differences are. They have like a natural tendency towards like evolution,
So-
whether it's like naturally or like using like cybernetic enhancements to achieve it.
So the butler is of the same race of the family then.
Yeah,
I
like,
just put that together.
I was gonna say, as you guys are kind of like surmising as you're looking at the photos and everything, it's probably like old style like family where the butlers are like a family that served them for generations, sort of thing.
Right.
Not indentured servitude, but like
But basically, just like without the force.
Their
Yeah.
bloodline has been like dedicated to
exactly.
working for them.
Okay, so this is a bit of a reach, but is there like a distinguished artist who signed these portraits that have been painted? Oh, okay.
just this
That's
oil
a cool
painting.
idea, though.
You can't make it out. There is a signature, but it's kind of like doctor signature where it's like a scribble.
I'm gonna scan that
Okay.
and I'd store it in my database for later, just in case if it's relevant. Also, on a meta level, how funny is it that I picked up a feat that allows me to extend the length of my arms?
You come from a family of long arms.
Right.
It's almost like you knew.
It is a bit of a reach.
Wow. In anticipation of the information we are about to get, I'll just have like a screensaver type animation be playing on my eyes where it's like a pong ball that goes from one socket to the other socket and then it just goes back and forth.
Yeah. You ought to add some programming to have the DVD icon, but have it never hit the corner.
At the corner of my spherical
Yeah.
eye.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I don't know.
As you guys kind of spend your time there in the den, whether you sit in an armchair or kind of stand there in anticipation, eventually Gideon comes back with a serving tray full of drinks. In particular, there's a couple different selections of oils, so that you could peruse at your choice, John. And for UT, there is a whiskey on the rocks. If you missed it earlier, this whiskey is known for a smoky finish.
Okay.
Master John.
I was just about to say, Gideon, before we get started, will you please satiate my curiosity? Where is everybody? Where is anyone?
Well, Master John, the estate at the moment only has the serving staff on hand. So, unless they are needed in a particular room, they kind of take care of their duties and go to the sleeping quarters or wherever.
I just couldn't help how barren the land looked on our way down in.
Oh, you're talking of the beach estates. Well, I don't know how much of your history you've picked up on, but your family, unfortunately, came down with the void decay, and one by one, they slowly disappeared. Your brother and you are the only ones left of the Tohaak lineage.
I'm sorry if this is sensitive. You said that. I'm sorry, what was Tohaak's actual?
Rejuvenor.
You said that Rejuvenor was, he had come here about 2 to 3 months ago. Upon what time did John's family start passing? Was
Oh,
it
that's-
before or after?
No, it was before. It was right along the same time as John himself came down with the disease.
Did you see any symptoms of Rejuvenor having the same?
Well, by the time the disease started striking the family, Rejuvenor had dipped into cybernetics pretty extensively, so he managed to circumvent it by having extensive... he would almost be considered 50-50 at this point in time, robot and Verthani.
Did he conduct his research here?
He finished some of his stuff in the Cove, but that was after his time at the Technomancery School on Absalon Station.
I see.
I'll take a real big swig of oil and kind of wipe it off with my mouth. I think I am ready to hear what you have to say.
I'll also take a sip of my whiskey. You said it has a smoky aftertaste. Like,
Mm-hmm.
what, like, is it like pretty like floral, or is it like earthy and then
Earthy.
smoky?
It's like an earthy smoke. It would be kind of like the campfire, the whiskey that we've had, where it's almost
okay.
like the peat moss
Yeah.
Scotch
Okay.
level.
Cool. Let's see. Is there anything within the room that seems, or like any? No, okay. Is there anything about what he's saying that, like, seems that there was any more information with the question that I had asked? Like, I guess I'm not really asking if he was lying. I was like more so asking if he was withholding information.
Based off of the interaction, if he was withholding information, it wouldn't have been intentional. It would have been
I see.
he answered the question you asked directly, to the best of his knowledge, not necessarily that he was trying to avoid.
If you think about it, T, it sort of lines up with the information that we learned on Avalon, right?
Unfortunately.
Yeah, if there is any timeline mistakes, that's 100% me accidentally retconning something not intentional.
No, unfortunately, unless if your master butler has more information, it seems like we are maybe chasing our tails a little bit.
Well, as I alluded to earlier, John, I was informed to read you the following letter on the off chance you chose to return to the estate.
Oh shit, okay.
It is from your younger brother, Rejuvenor.
Okay.
Dear Michael, or John, as you have come to call yourself these days, while it is not my birthright, I have taken the title of Baron due to the belief that you have perished from void decay. Since you were unable to regain your memories fully following the soul transplant, there was no reason to tell anyone different. If you are reading this letter, either you started to remember or you have found out through some other means who you are. I have established the base of operations needed at this point and do not need the title of Baron to continue my mission. Seeing as you are the elder, I am willing to give you all of your birthright and have drafted all of the proper paperwork. My only request is that you complete one last trial. This is my last attempt at bringing out all of your past memories. The cove we played in as kids contains the final preparations for my mission and the documents as well as why I have done what I have done. Proceed to the end of the tunnel and reclaim what is yours. I hope that I will see you soon by my side as a brother in arms. May our souls of steel be unbreakable. Rejuvenor.
Can I grab the paper from him? Mm-hmm. I'll just like scan it with my like retina thing. We have to check out the cove.
Let me switch up music. Sorry, that broke it all. I had a...
No, it's just the maid staff talking over the
intercom.
Yeah.
I can't skip it.
What did I spend on groceries this month? Hey Dad, can the guys stay for dinner?
Want faster, easier banking? You can with Bellstar.
What? Can you describe T's body language as you heard the letter being read out loud?
T has not shared a whole lot of information about how he felt about Tohaak in general.
No, but specifically hearing the information from this letter.
Like if you're
what's
there's
like,
a gasp or
do you have a reaction to that physically?
His entire visage and mannerisms have been relatively poke the bear, kind of using ammunition against John, but immediately is gone completely serious. He wasn't expecting that there was he was expecting that there would be some love loss, but now is starting to see that I guess he has a sympathetic face.
Okay.
Well, like I said, he hasn't really shared his feelings on Tohaak up to this point, so I don't know how much that face actually tells you. I do down the rest of my drink, though.
Yeah, I'll down mine too. Gosh. Gillian. Oh, excuse me. Robot voice. Gillian. Are you concerned for Rejuvenor's safety?
well, up until the day the messenger came, he was intently focused on bringing Michael back. All of your memories. And once that messenger arrived, his fixation changed immediately onto some looming threats. Whatever this threat was, he was not forthcoming, but he spent the rest of his time in the cove prepping until he gave me this letter and left.
And this was 3 months ago? This was 3 months ago.
Roughly.
Just out of curiosity, how long have we been on this Tohaak trail up until this point, as far as the timeline is concerned? Not 3 months, right?
No, it's been like a month and a half to 2
I was
months.
going to say it couldn't be
Because I think you guys only spent maybe a month on
we
Absalon Station, and you only spent like a day on Avalon, so you've spent about 2 weeks travel time between going to Avalon and then coming to Verces.
Okay.
So yeah, it's about a month and a half to 2 months.
My concern, John, if he went through all of this trouble to leave you a note that he knows you would have seen, why couldn't he have just met you?
It has to be because of whatever looming threat is on his horizon.
Can we trust your butler to keep this confidential?
It's hard to say, but something deep in my code says
Is this
yes.
via Mind Link?
No.
No.
Okay.
That's why I was asking.
Well,
I'll just turn over to I almost said Gimli. Gideon.
well, I serve the Tohaak family, so whatever the desire of the family is, that is my...
I don't mean to question your loyalty, it's just a sensitive topic for multiple reasons.
It's understood. If you'd like additional details, the few things I am privy to that Rejuvenor was open about, whatever threats is coming, he felt that he needed to build up a technological army with his newfound soul tethering technique. So,
John, my concern is that we are a part of that looming threat.
I think we need to see the cove.
I agree.
Please take us to the area.
well, if we could go now if you so choose, but I figured you'd want at least the dinner that we started preparing and maybe
of
to
course.
rest from your trip. Not that you can't go, that's just...
It would be best.
I'll just start rereading the letter.
Perfect.
While time passes and dinner is being prepared,
Mhm.
John, I keep running through my mind, and this is purely speculation. But the PWC has put us on many tasks to find Tohaak. And what happens when we find him. It's without a doubt in my mind, based off of information that we are currently gathering for them, is his looming threat he speaks of. But is it a necessary good, or is it a necessary evil that we must continue to stop?
This I must find out. For years I have been wandering the universe, wondering what my purpose was. And I feel that I am just about to stumble on the singularity.
Do you... maybe this is circumstantial, but... do you want your memories back? And if you do, what if that's a trade for the ones you have made?
Things are complicated. I don't know how to process it.
We'll work on it, buddy.
It's tough.
Yeah, pretty much. That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, and I'll just do my best to charge up my batteries with this meal.
Have you tried the peach salsa?
No.
It's good.
Eventually, a dinner bell will be rung. You guys will be led into the next room where you'll see a large dinner table with place settings for each of the members of the crew. The party can also see a roasted lizard-like creature, what appears to be a rice with greenish hue, likely due to the seasoning that was used, an assortment of vegetables native to the planet, as well as glasses filled with whatever the member was already drinking. In your spot, John, at the head of the table, you'll see there's a variety of oils set out at your place setting. If there's anything you would like to discuss during dinner, we can cover that now. Otherwise, the staff will show you guys to the rooms that have been set up for you guys.
I do have one question, Gideon. You said Rejuvenor. Apologize. You said that Rejuvenor was last here about 2 to 3 months ago.
Yes.
About how long was he here?
It's about a year. If you count the times that he came back from the Technomancery School, 3 to 4 years from whenever the Void Decay started. When he came back with John, it was about just under a year.
And my last question. The Void Decay we've seen occurring on other planets as well. About what time, or was there an isolated event when the Void Decay started?
I think the first family member was affected with it about 8 years ago. It's a very slow, painful process.
We have friends that have gone through it. I just asked if there was a specific incident that occurred or if it just happened naturally.
It's one of those, there wasn't anything that stuck out. The fact that it affected the entire family seems to be something genetic. May have been caused, or some sort of something about the atoll. We still don't know.
So do you think... No, I've never been to this planet before, but I assume that there were other residents on this planet, right? Or at least on the section.
There was other staff members,
Do they-
and the ones that maintained the beach houses have left since there is no one living in the beach houses.
Did any of the staff get afflicted with void decay?
No, it was just the Tohaak family, which is why we believed it to be something genetic.
Good to know. I'm glad at least the rest of you were just fine.
Well, fine in the physical sense. Most of us lost our purpose when it happened.
As I look up from finishing my drink, not saying anything.
Unfortunately, I can relate. My condolences.
Thank you.
Well, what vegetation or meals? You brought quite the array, but what is grown here that's unique to other worlds?
Well, what you've seen with the whiskey, what's special about the atoll is it comes from the lagunta, which is the grain along the banks of the lagoon here. While it's not uncommon to have some form of grain on other planets, that's unique here. The frostmane berries, which was in the wine.
So is it like a... This is a bit going in the weeds about it. I'm just kind of curious how in depth you've gone with it. Like, is it like made from like a mash of corn or oats, or is it like a different?
No, like the lagoon, like
The lagunta is like a wheat,
It's like a,
but it's instead of like being grown in like a natural field, it's grown in like it almost looks like the what's the thing? It's the big tall plants that have like the end around like ponds and stuff.
like the with the poofy stuff at the
Yeah.
top. Isn't
I can't remember what it is.
related to a cat?
Oh yeah, like the cattails or whatever.
Cattails.
Yeah, so essentially it would look like a cattail, but it's actually a form of grain.
That's pretty cool. Okay. Yeah, that was just world lore. I was curious.
The only thing I want to have a quick aside with, if we have to trail behind the staff who are leading us to the cove, enough for us to talk softly. Oh, I guess we can talk in our minds, right?
Yeah.
Did you want to go to Cove now, or did you guys want?
We can have this discussion telepathically on the way there.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, what I meant is, did you want to go to the Cove right after dinner, or did you want to go to your rooms?
We're not. I'd rather not sit on this.
John is feeling a little antsy, and is is more open to seeing the cove first.
All right.
I'll activate my my mind link. It's a lot of information to take in, John. Are you doing okay?
I am not sure. I did have a question for you. For someone who plays around with allegiances in such the way that you do, how do you know that you're making the right decision if, in fact, there's no heart involved?
If you were to glance over, you see a small smile on his face. John, the way I look at the world, the decision I choose to make is the right decision.
I will have fucking tea.
No matter what choice you make will have a consequence. You just have to be man enough to face it.
Or like you maybe run from it?
I have said that, but I am genuinely glad for the decision I've made. Besmora has made me feel more fulfilled in my life than I did as a captain.
I'll be like a blank for a little bit. Maybe like 20 feet will pass. And I'll just say, T, I'm scared I might make the wrong choice.
If you choose to regain your relationship with your brother, I fear that you will not live long enough to appreciate what you had gained. But no matter what choice you make, John, I'm your captain, and I'll go down with the ship with you.
Let's give you a little head nod. That's it.
All right. Down along the inner beach of the
That was
atoll is a cave entrance that has what looks like a swell river leading deeper inside. There are markings along the walls of the entrance that are clearly faded and childlike, some indicating that this is a pirate cove and intruders should beware. Aside from the vagueness of the letter about the trial, there's nothing that indicates there's any danger heading in.
Okay.
I'm going to describe this first part, and then I'll need to take a slight break to draw out the map,
Okay.
and then we can continue from there.
Okay.
As you guys kind of start heading in, you'll see there's walkways on either side, so there's a river down the center of it. The river is clearly deep enough that it would require swimming to proceed up the cave inside, so about 20 feet deep.
Okay.
And then we'll take a brief intermission so I can draw out the cove, and then we'll go.
Man.
All right. So you guys can pick which side you want to be on. The
Right is always right.
The water is this, and then we'll cover more as we get further and further in.
Let me move my glass.
But, yep, so this would be the cave entrance here. This water continues out a little bit further before it spills into the lagoon.
Okay.
As you guys proceed into the cave, give me a perception check.
16.
22.
Good job. So what you guys would see is kind of lying in this sort of spot here, a large aquatic carcass on the bank of the right side of the cave. The carcass has a purplish hue to it, but it's starting to discolor due to the rotting flesh. If you'd like to identify, give me a life science check.
I'll go for that.
Yeah, I'm good at those.
Not good. Good.
Okay, what'd you get?
Oh, I got, hold on, life science. That's an 11.
Okay. Okay, John, what you would recognize is that this is a Foldo, which is a native creature to Verces. Shanty, not only would you recognize it's a Foldo, which is kind of like a squid-like creature,
Okay.
you would be proficient enough to know that it's territorial and strikes with a stinger, which a couple of its stingers are basically just have stingers on the end of it, which is designed to stun their prey before squeezing them to death. The Verthani have tamed most of the ones found, and they serve as protectors of the coastline and lagoons of the ring.
Would I be able to ascertain with the good check how it perished? Or could I do a medicine check to see?
You could do a medicine check to see.
While you're filling this information in to me, do you know if it has some sort of scent gland?
I've never been able to really examine one so intimately.
What I'm thinking is maybe we could rub its goo all over us. And that would prevent... I don't know.
The smell of decay, I think, would have the opposite effect. I think it would attract some of its kind.
You're the one who knows.
I'm actually good at survival too. 6? Yeah. That's a 16.
You're not for a lack of skill. It's as you're going through the carcass, there's no discernible reason why this creature perished.
So like, there's no like lethal wounds.
No,
Okay,
like
that's the information.
it almost looks like it lost the will to live.
John, I believe if you would have punched this with Alt F4, it would have had a similar impact.
I just pull out my fist and
He pushes it back into the water. Well, because there weren't any signs of a lethality or and some kind of fatality, it makes me wonder if there was something biological that caused this death, or if it could have been a type of strangulation. It's just speculation at this point. I just advise caution moving forward.
my eyes will turn yellow.
I'll stick behind. I'll watch the rear.
Perfect. As you guys continue up, the river seems pretty calm. There's nothing necessarily too crazy in the cave. As you guys get to about where you're at, go ahead and give me another perception check.
Dirty one.
That's the first roll under 10 you've had tonight.
31.
22.
22. So, Shanty, as you guys kind of pull in, you'll see this bubbling kind of coming from around here in the water.
How intense is the bubbling?
Nothing too crazy at the moment.
What is it? Do you see something?
There's something underneath the water.
There's something in the water.
I would like to. Let me make sure I have the spell description. 1 second.
How high are the ceilings?
How high do you want them to be? I would say it's a large enough cave for kind of like walking. Kind of what I'm thinking is like for whatever reason, Mario 64 is what's coming to mind. Like the cave in like Jolly Roger Bay.
Oh, okay.
So it's like a big kind of like cavern sort of.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I would like to cast Detect Thoughts.
Oh, pulling a book
Okay.
out of Raya's page, rather.
Regale me with the process here so I know what.
It goes per round.
Right.
The first round, I detect the presence or absence of thoughts from conscious creatures that have intelligence scores of at least 1.
Is there a radius out of you that projects?
60-foot range, and it's in a cone-shaped area.
You said intelligence of what?
Of
least
1
one.
or higher.
You do not receive anything.
Okay. And then the second round would detect the number of thinking minds.
Unfortunately, there's no change there because I want to say the first step tells you whether or not there was anything.
Okay. Well, then the third round wouldn't do anything then. Whatever it is doesn't have any thoughts. I think we're safe to proceed.
Oh, that's probably better. I was about to go touch it.
If it's something that's creating bubbles, I mean, you might be able to see if it's something that's caught underneath there. At the very least, it's not a creature with sentient thought.
DM, John will proceed further down the waterway,
I'm going to stick back up.
and I'm going to use my new feat. And I'll just say,
Can I describe first before we do that?
yes, please.
Perfect. As you get closer to the bubbling, it becomes more and more pronounced. I will let you do what you would like first, and then I'll follow up.
I'll start. My arm will start to extend out about a foot before the bubbling sort of intensifies. I pull it back. Maybe we should keep going. This seems a little bit anomalous. Or not, fuck it.
kind of in anticipation, you'll see the emergence of a squid-like creature.
Oh, here it is.
It's a light purple color on the outer part of its body with a salmon-like underside. There's 7 distinct tentacles, 2 of which have stinger-like tips instead of the typical suction cup appendages that the other 5 have. Upon closer inspection, the party would realize the body is actually metallic in nature, and is the type of metallic synthesized skin that androids typically
I
have.
can't escape, John.
Well, I was going to say, you missed the last part there, so...
No, I heard the last part. I can't escape from the fucking robots where my spells don't work.
It's an android.
Okay.
So your spells still work as far... So meta-wise, it would be the equivalent of John.
Yeah.
So, still effect. John, please give me a mysticism check.
Oh. That's such a high number. It's a -2, by the way.
Yeah, I was going to say...
That's 10?
John, for whatever reason, you feel like you know this creature. Not just that it's a Foldo, but you know this one.
Is there a marker?
I am going to invoke the name Tohaak.
Before that, just as a meta thing, I keep forgetting it because it is a Starfinder unique thing. You guys are able to push rolls.
Oh yeah,
So
that's a thing.
You can re-roll. There are larger negative consequences if you fail, but if you feel like you want to try again, so it'd be like you're trying to jump over a pit, you fail, you roll it again. Now not only do you fall, there might be spikes at the bottom or something like that.
Yeah, I'll just start speaking out to this squid creature. I invoke the name Tohaak. It is I, Master Michael, returning. I have domain over you.
Give me a diplomacy check.
Okay. I almost took a feat that would give me a big boost to that. Instead, that's a nat 20, but it's bumped down to 19 because of my negative modifier.
Gotcha. The creature seems connected to you. While it looked like it was going to attack, it doesn't.
Is this my dad?
It was going Tohaak. That was bad.
I'll just like with my arms out. I think we're good. And I'll just like nudge you to keep walking as I hold my stance.
As you've started to form this spiritual connection with it, give me another mysticism check at advantage.
All right.
I can't believe it.
I rolled the same result. I'll just push it since that's a mechanic you reminded me of.
What was it?
10.
Okay.
Oh no.
Worse. 2.
It's almost like there's a memory that you're trying to access that you can't grasp, and in your anticipation of like trying to pull it forward, you make a movement that unsettles the creature.
Uh-huh.
Please roll initiative.
Yeah. God damn it.
Oh no.
That's a 6 for me, DM.
Okay.
Let me make sure.
Well, it didn't roll great either, so somehow you managed to still go before it.
It's it's the one on the top left here. It's like the first 4 letters of initiative.
I was just making sure I didn't have any changes. 14 for T.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't have to beat much. The folder rolled a 5, so. It's... Alright, so we're going to start with T, followed by John, and then the Foldo in the rear.
John,
Let me get my prop out. Because, to be honest, I thought there was some, like, a little bit more, like, stuff at the mansion beforehand.
Oh, sorry.
I like, in my head, like, narratively, it made more sense that John would want to go immediately, and for whatever reason, I didn't write it that way.
No, it's fine.
I feel that.
Like, in retrospect, I'm like, oh, yeah, this makes way more sense that he would do this.
Well, you have that in your back pocket if we ever go back.
Oh, yeah. That's not the creature, by the way.
I was like,
That's just...
Christ.
So,
What
like,
in Cthulhu hell?
yeah, so, like I said, to kind of put it in perspective, it looks like a purple squid with, like, a salmon underbelly. 7 tentacles instead of your 6 or 8 for octopus. 5 of them have suction cups. The other 2 don't have any suction cups and end in stingers.
Okay. Creepy. Okay. Okay.
You almost had him, John. I'll teach you more about mysticism later.
What am I doing? I
have a plus 13.
Oh, yeah. I'm like on the other end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Let me throw Sparks in here as well. Sparks is gonna. Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, you're first.
Let's just go all out with it, huh? You see T, his antennae is like starting to glow, like a greenish purplish like glow. And he's able to pull that light as it kind of goes out into his fingertips. He just kind of, it points up as a bunch of roots and vines just start piling up and going down into the riverbed to strike this creature.
Okay.
I'm going to use Verdant Blast.
Oh, you're using the new thing.
Okay. So that is
You said it was a reflex save.
reflex save of 15.
That's a nat 1.
Oh.
Oh baby, that's 14 points of piercing damage. And then let me see if there's anything I can do from a bonus action.
Or your move action.
Yeah. Actually, move action. I'm going to stay where I'm at.
Okay.
I think I'm safest with John in front of me.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect.
My turn?
I'm helping John, I promise.
Yep, it's over to you, Judd.
Okay, so I will take a combat, I'll just what's the word? I'm just going to go down on one knee, pull out my boomer rifle.
Stance?
Yes, combat stance, yes, thank you. I can take 2 attacks, but it's a -4 penalty, right? What was that? I can sacrifice the movement or something?
It's the full attack one. Which,
Full attack.
Let me confirm so I don't jip you on that one. It's under your actions.
That's what I'm trying to find. Range and penalty, critical hits. That's not it. Weapons? No. I'll just take the one shot just to be safe. Yeah, here we go.
It's a -4 for
Negative
full
4?
attack.
Go for it.
Then, no, it's okay. Then I will do that. I have a +8 to hit, still gives me a +4. First attack. Fuck! 10?
Doesn't hit.
19.
That'll hit. Roll me some
Okay.
damage.
D6. Wait, hold on, let me double check something. Last features. No, that's not it. Okay, so that's a total of 10 damage. As I just kind of blast it right into its little beaky mouth. I'll use some of my movement to just get right here.
All right.
Actually,
I guess you want to hand me sparks?
oh yeah.
So we'll say Sparks is there. Sparks is going to use her move action to use her Get 'em ability until the start of her next turn. Her and her allies get a +1 to attack rolls made against that enemy. The bonus will persist even if it moves out of 60 feet of her.
Cool.
And then she's going to follow that up with a shot from her sonic pistol. That's within range. 6 + 3, 7 doesn't hit. And that will be Spark's turn. Over to the Foldo. Seeing as John is the closest and did damage to it, it's going to attack with its tentacle multi-attack.
Oh boy, sounds exceptional.
First one's a nat 1. That one's an 11 against KAC. I don't think that'll hit.
No, 60.
The last one will also miss.
The first two, I'll just like be able to dodge a little bit, but I'll like, for flavor, I'll shoot the third hit. So like that's the reason why it doesn't hit me.
Perfect. That will be it for the Foldo. Back at the top of the round.
Okay. I'm going to cast. No, okay. I'm going to whip out my hail pistol and bop bop. I can't shoot twice, I don't think. But
You can do a full attack, but it gives you a -4 on the rolls.
yeah, that pretty much takes away my entire bonus. So, that's ranged attack bonus.
Yeah.
I get to add a +4 now instead of a +2.
Nice.
Hey, 21.
Roll me some damage.
3 points of damage. That's piercing.
Is your dex not added to that?
Is my dex added to that?
You get at a certain level, as long as you're proficient, you get, was it half of your level bonus? So I think it's a +1.
Does it say that?
It might be a +2 now. So if you scroll down to the weapon,
Yeah, it's +2. Okay, so that's 5 points damage.
so another 2 from what we.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I am. That Cairn transformation spell that I have, I didn't realize it only lasts for 1 round. So I have to activate it when I think I'm gonna get hit.
Oh, I see.
So that's all for my turn. I'll move behind Sparks.
Perfect. Back around to you, John.
Okay. I'm going to take another full attack. Come on, big money, no whammies. 14 to hit.
Nope.
7 to hit.
Wait, don't you
No.
get +2 from Sparks?
+1.
Oh, so that would be 15 to hit. Fuck! Okay, the second one misses too. Getting some weird, sort of like, incoherent thoughts and potential memories. It's fogging up my brain.
Give me another mysticism check.
Okay. Oh. That's a -2. I rolled in that one.
Oh, nice. Definitely not feeling anything. If anything, the attempt to pry in is actually counterproductive at this point.
Yeah. Is this a bridge, I'm assuming?
Yes.
I'm going to go onto the bridge.
Cool.
And that'll be my turn. Oh, wait, no, I can't move because I
Took the full act.
full attack.
Okay. The creature is going to use its swimming speed to get up into range.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
So is it actually that large?
Yeah, it's a large.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's big. And it's probably my mom or dad or something turned into a squid.
It's going to attack with its tentacle stinger.
Okay. Good luck.
20 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Rennie, you're going to take 11.
What kind of damage is that?
I think I have it as piercing.
Okay. I wasn't sure.
The bigger issue though is where's my thing?
You said 11?
Yeah.
And that drops from stamina first, right?
Yep. Stamina first,
Okay.
then HP. And that will be it for its turn.
Okay.
What was scooped over? Sparks. Sparks. Before it would have moved, because it actually was after Sparks. It's gonna fire off her pistol and miss.
Okay.
That'll bring us back to the top with T.
Okay.
Move right up here. And I will cast I'm going to cast Reflecting Armor onto myself.
Mm-hmm. Getting it all swirly dirly.
Yeah. Anytime during the spell's duration, when you take damage from an attack made by a weapon from a foe within 100 feet, you can choose to dismiss the spell as a reaction. If you do, the target takes for force damage equal to the damage dealt to you.
Oh,
Maximum of 10.
nice.
So this lasts for 10 minutes.
Cool.
And then I will. That's pretty much my turn. I prepare reflecting armor, and it looks. My skin just looks a bit shinier.
Okay.
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 Nice.
My turn?
Yes.
Okay. I'll just yell out, T, I think this might be a family member of mine. It's hard to say. I'm not really good with this sort of mysticism thing. And I am, because it's the best thing I know how to do, I'm going to do another full attack. That will probably hit 16.
What type of damage is it?
17. What's a +1?
Oh, plus 17.
Well, that was. Is it indefinite or is it
Was it just the round?
until the beginning of her next turn? So that.
That just stopped. Okay, so it's 16.
What type of damage?
Oh, it's hold on. Sorry.
It's a boomer, right? Sonic
Yeah.
beats it.
Nice.
Kill him. Second attack. Miss. Okay. 2d6. 10 points of damage.
Oh, nice roll.
And I'm just trying to keep firing into this thing.
The folder's looking a little rough. Sparks. Kind of seeing as you've done some damage to it there, and it's not looking too good. She's going to use the get 'em again on it, so it's got a +1 since it only consumes a move action.
Okay.
And then she's going to,
Oh, that only consumes a move action?
Yeah.
That's nice.
which means she can't move, but
What's it matter when you've got a freaking gun?
Exactly. That's why. I mean, I lose my 8 bonus modifier, but
Yeah.
4 is still decent.
Yeah, but then just being able to give your entire party a +1 to attack just to not move,
yeah, I think it's one of those, like,
that's really good.
I think part of what's happened is because it's not, like, right there where you can easily see what your options are.
Right.
It's going to take 8 points of sonic damage. Looking.
Does that bonus apply to sparks too?
Mhm.
That's good.
So, yeah, as long as you start your turn with it, you get it on your attack that turn.
Cool.
Seeing as it's kind of on death's door, it's going to make another multi-attack on you there, John. It's 14.
Miss.
That was a miss. 18.
Hits.
Okay. So, what's your KAC?
KAC is actually. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing, dude. Oh my god, it's so stupid. Actually, my KAC is 16. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's still only one attack.
Okay,
against you so
okay.
far.
It just happens that our ship's AC is also 16, and that's what I've been going off of this whole fucking time.
You're going to take 10 bludgeoning.
How much stamina does that put you at?
I'm at 15. I'm about half my maximum total.
You're a half? What's your stamina total?
36.
Okay.
And that'll be the end of its turn, so we're back at the top.
Okay.
And it's on death's door, it looks like. Yeah, why not? I'm gonna use Verted Blast once more.
Perfect. You said reflex save?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think it'll matter, but it's 11, which I think fails, right? Cool. How do you want to end it?
Okay, I want to roll just for the funsies. That's not a D6. I can't see into the... Is there another D6 in there?
Not too bad. 8?
Yeah, 8.
Perfect. You can only had 3, so.
Okay. Okay, so this tentacle-ass motherfucker is feeling a little, like, annoyed that he didn't attack or fall into my trap card.
Right.
Instead, my antenna just glow up again, and I just kind of point up with my finger as roots start pulling up underneath the water and envelop the bottom half of him and pulls him down into the water.
Oh, okay. Cool.
John, as you see this squid Foldo being pulled down into the depths, give me one last mysticism check.
Can I assist in any way?
If you could describe how you're assisting.
Okay, how does mysticism work? Like, in the sense of the skill check.
So in this capacity, it's John trying to form a spiritual connection with the Foldo.
John, it's an out-of-body type of thought. It's your mind versus their mind. Picture yourself conversing with their whole person versus Acton.
I'm picturing it.
Yeah, definitely advantage. That was really well.
Do it for the double. Do it for the
Okay,
double.
I'll do it for the double just for fun.
Was that a nat 20?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, technically it's 18, because of my negative 2.
But nat 20 minus
Dude, that's
2.
my third nat 20 tonight.
Nice.
5th in total.
John, you get a flash of a memory.
Okay.
Specifically, you see a young Berthani splashing in the water next to you as a smaller Foldo splashes with you. Tentacles are lifting the child into the air, out of the water, allowing them to jump off into like a diving board. As you watch what looks to be the same creature being pulled to its death.
You will be remembered.
I might be able to save him, John. Is this somebody that's important to you?
Is it too late? It's dead, right?
I can heal it.
Well,
I don't know how death works in this game.
you know how it works is like you technically be on death saves. We just don't normally do it for non-combatants. So I would say it's a DC 15 medicine check.
Yes, maybe we should keep this thing alive. I think I played with it as a child. It's hard to say.
Would I be able to use my healing touch ability? It takes 10 minutes, but they recover 5 HP per mystic level.
If you are wanting to burn 10 minutes right here. Yeah.
I mean, I could do a medicine check to keep it stabilized.
Yeah, so
while
medicine
the
check
spell-
would be to stabilize it. The spell would be to heal it.
Okay. I'm good at these.
Oh, it was almost 19.
Well, seeing that it's hard to combat the power of the strength of the vines of my own spell, trying to... this is the sentence I will cast the spell, John. I'm instead just going to panic cast Mystic Cure at level 2.
Okay.
Yeah, you rolled that one.
He goes to save it and it just pulls it deeper.
Yeah, you try to help, but it makes it extremely
Like every time he reaches, the vine pulls harder.
harder. More come up out of the water.
You just see the bullets of sweat like, John.
Your veins like poking out of your temple. Oh shit.
Are you... I can't see that, I'm sorry. It's
3, 3, 1, 7.
Okay, so
But I mean,
Oh, plus your mystic level.
10.
10.
oh nice.
58.
Oh, you're currently level 4 Mystic, right? So it's actually 11.
No, so Mystic Cure is my instant heal, but my healing touch is my ability that takes longer. I panic casted Mystic Cure because I wasn't able to.
Oh, is it how many ranks you have in mysticism? What were you looking at the front page for?
I looked at the front page for my wisdom modifier.
Oh, gotcha. Sorry, I thought you were looking at Mystic level.
No, if I were to use Healing Touch over the course of 10 minutes, they would restore 20 HP.
Gotcha.
But
in either case, it is stabilized, at least responsive.
I just will say, be free, swim, and I'll just point to the outside of the tunnel.
And you'll see it kind of like the equivalent of like a swim limp out into the lagoon. How are you guys feeling?
Now get out of here. Don't come back now.
I think it might be a good spot.
It's a good place to end. I was so looking forward to finding this stuff. But it might be okay for Sarah to be here potentially for it.
So